In the repair facility, Wall-E mistakenly believes Eve is under threat by the repair crew and intervenes, triggering the release of other robots undergoing service. Amidst the chaos, security robots capture images of them, prompting the ship's computer to label Eve and Wall-E as rogue robots. The movie begins. In a distant future, around 7 centuries ahead, Earth is overwhelmed by waste and lacks any semblance of biodiversity, the aftermath of relentless environmental deterioration and mindless consumption. The remaining human population resides aboard the spacecraft Axiom, having abandoned Earth many centuries ago. Axiom is under the control of a major corporation known as By and Large, its insignia prominently displayed even on the artificial sun visible from the ship's central area. Originally, the plan was for humans to spend 5 years in outer space, while robotic cleaners, known as Wall-Es, invented by Professor Simon, prepared Earth for resettlement. However, after 700 years, only a single Wall-E unit remains operational. Wall-E spends his time compacting waste into blocks and constructing structures, alongside collecting intriguing artifacts, which he stores in his garage, shared with a lone cockroach, his sole companion. During nights, he indulges in watching Hello Dolly on VHS, yearning for companionship. Amidst his discoveries of spare parts and electronics, he stumbles upon a solitary plant, unfamiliar yet sensing its need for care. He nurtures it by placing it in an old shoe filled with soil. The following day, a colossal spaceship lands, dispatching another robot named Eve, extraterrestrial vegetation evaluator. Wall-E is immediately captivated, desiring to hold her hand, but Eve, armed with a plasma cannon, remains cautious. Tasked with scouring Earth for vegetation, Eve grows distressed upon finding none. Wall-E eventually gains her trust and brings her to his garage, showcasing his human relics. Despite his efforts, Eve hesitates to hold his hand until he presents the plant, triggering her primary directive. She secures the plant in a special containment capsule within her body, signaling the mothership before entering hibernation mode. Perplexed, Wall-E strives to ensure Eve's safety and comfort, shielding her from thunderstorms and cherishing moments together, watching the sunset in the park. A few days later, the mothership arrives and retrieves Eve. Wall-E sneaks aboard the ship, which then transports them back to the Axiom, situated several light years away from Earth. Upon arrival, Eve and Wall-E undergo examination in the landing bay. Eve, still in hibernation mode, is escorted to the ship's commander, while Wall-E follows, trailed by M.O., a cleaning robot determined to cleanse Wall-E of any foreign substances. En route, Wall-E encounters humans for the first time. Morbidly obese and largely immobile, they navigate the Axiom in hover chairs, equipped with screens for communication and advertisements for consumable products. Accidentally causing one of the humans, John, to fall from his hover chair, Wall-E assists him back into position and introduces himself. Despite initial confusion, John expresses gratitude and introduces himself in return. Wall-E traces Eve's whereabouts to Captain McCrea's quarters, finding him just as inactive and pampered as the other humans on board. McCrea, though initially bewildered, becomes intrigued by Operation Recolonize, spurred by Eve's discovery. However, when McCrea activates Eve to retrieve the plant, it's nowhere to be found. Consequently, McCrea orders both Eve and Wall-E for repairs. Yet after their departure, he decides to educate himself about Earth. In the repair facility, Wall-E mistakenly believes Eve is under threat by the repair crew and intervenes, triggering the release of other robots undergoing service. Amidst the chaos, security robots capture images of them, prompting the ship's computer to label Eve and Wall-E as rogue robots. Frustrated, Eve decides to send Wall-E back to Earth, but before she can, they witness Gopher stashing the plant into an escape pod. Once Gopher leaves, Wall-E rushes to rescue the plant but gets propelled into space. Before the pod self-destructs, Wall-E ingeniously uses the emergency exit and a fire extinguisher to flee with the plant. In a jubilant moment, Eve joins Wall-E in space, expressing her appreciation with an electric kiss. Using the garbage chute, Eve and Wall-E stealthily infiltrate McCrea's quarters to present him with the plant. However, Otto, the ship's autopilot system, reveals itself as the culprit behind the plant's theft. Driven by a centuries-old directive established during Earth's presumed uninhabitable state, Otto refuses any return to Earth. It forcefully sends Walle, Eve, and the plant plummeting down the garbage chute and confines Macrea to his cabin. Walle and Eve narrowly evade being jettisoned into space with the rest of the waste, but Walle sustains severe damage. Meanwhile, Macrea successfully hacks into the ship's communication system, directing Eve and Walle to rendezvous at the ship's central deck, where a special device awaits to return the vessel to Earth upon the plant's placement. Assisted by the liberated robots, Walle and Eve reach the central deck, where the device emerges from its platform. Despite Otto's attempts to thwart them, Walle prevents the device from being retracted, while Macrea gains control and deactivates Otto. Eve places the plant into the device, initiating the Axiom's journey back to Earth. In the struggle against Otto, Walle is critically injured while safeguarding the platform. Upon their return to Earth, Eve hurriedly transports Walle to his garage and conducts repairs. Initially disoriented, Walle resumes his garbage compacting routine until Eve, distressed, clasps his hand and bestows another electric kiss, triggering a proper reboot. Macrea proceeds to educate the humans on nurturing the plant and restoring the planet, discovering the task to be less daunting than anticipated, as vegetation has already begun flourishing just beyond the city limits. And that's where the movie ends.
As thanks for watching the whole video, here's a picture of a cute puppy. And if you have a movie or TV show that you want us to cover, just comment it down below. We'll make a video of it in the future. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out our playlist for more recaps.